This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning, students. We are going to continue the hospital pharmacoepidemiology chapter. And earlier we have seen the applications of pharmacoepidemiology in drug approval process and its use in the tracking the new medications and utilization of the prescription pattern of the drugs. Today, we are going to understand uh, its use in policy analysis. Its use in policy analysis. So before we understand, let us understand what is the meaning of policy. Ria Pillai, can you tell me what is a policy?
So it's like a principle.
Can you complete it, Ria Pillai?
Like a principle given by a institution or organization or an individual.
Yeah, correct. So it is the do's and don'ts are the way the rules and regulations have to be followed within one organization. Within one organization, that is called as a policy. Rules and regulations, if you talk, it is applicable to state and central government. But if the same thing is applicable to one institution or one organization or one company, it is called as policy. Now, there will be a policy to use the medication in the hospital setup. So hospital management will give the directions to doctors as well as to pharmacists to distribute the medicines as well as to prescribe those medicines which are there in the essential list, that is a formulary list of the hospital. We know that each hospital will have their own formulary, correct? Uh, the formulary will be containing those medications that are brought by the hospital management. So doctors have to prescribe from that formulary list, and the same drugs are going to be distributed by the pharmacist also. So there is a policy to use the medications in the hospital. And the pharmacoepidemiology helps to assess the clinical consequences of as well as economic consequences or results after the medication use. Clinical consequences such as effectiveness of the drug and adverse effects produced by the drug. This is on the clinical side. And economic side is that the cost of the medications that are applicable to patients and as a treatment as a whole. So such consequences or results are going to be assessed by the pharmacoepidemiology, especially with respect to medication use in the hospital setup. Okay, so this is how the pharmacoepidemiology has a use in hospital setup in the analysis of policy. Are you clear? Can we move on to the next part of it? Clear? Manoj, कैसी है? Or anybody else?
Yes, sir. Clear,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yeah. Next one is interventional pharmacoepidemiology. See, you have always understood that pharmacist needs to intervene in the treatment, right? Always we also pressurize you to do that. Now let us understand what is that intervention and why we have to do that and what is going to happen. Manoj, what is intervention? Manoj,
Yes, sir.
what is intervention?
Sorry, sir. Breaking it is
Intervention. What is intervention?
like intervening into something.
Okay. What exactly you do during the intervention?
Pharmacist intervention, yeah.
Okay, what you do?
Which means we have to note down the drug-drug interactions,
Okay,
the main pharmacokinetics of the drug we should aware of, so that we can convey it to the patients.
convey it to the patient. Okay. Mega,
Yes, sir. Intervention means any findings uh, between any things, like we are finding something from a situation or from any problems.
okay. After finding,
Uh, After finding, we'll take a solution regarding it.
mhm, okay.
Um, yeah, that's it, I know, sir.
Okay. Merlin Sarah, what is intervention?
Sir, we can say it as a conclusion, or as Mega said, it's something we find by analyzing something. I'm not
Navindran,
able.
okay, no problem. Navindran,
Sir, I don't know, sir.
Ria Pillai,
So any if we take any actions to no taking any actions to uh, treat the disease.
taken any action to treat the disease?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ria Sarah,
Intervention refers to asking a person about a particular drug or something that's being taken by him, and then we come to a conclusion about it.
okay. Sufficient. Anju Varki, Anne Maria,
So we will check all the medication use and everything, and we will find there is any medication error, drug-drug interaction ADR, and rational use, the cost of therapy, and all this we will check, and we will do our best to provide a better patient care.
What you do best?
Sir,
What kind of best you want to do?
sir, your sound is breaking, sir, not clear.
What kind of best you want to do it for the patient? You said you want to do best service, correct?
For the proper, better patient care,
No, how do you do that?
we will analyze all the medication use. If it is check, we'll check all the medication use are proper or not, whether the medications given are rational or not. We'll check all those things.
Okay, after checking it, what you do?
Oh, don't know, sir.
But you want to do best.
Yeah, for getting the proper, better or
Yeah.
proper patient output, we will we need the patient to experience better, no, sir. So,
Yeah, your ultimate goal is correct. But what is that you have to do? You need to know clearly, correct? Aparna,
don't.
no problem. Good try, and you are near to the answer. Aparna,
Yes, sir.
yeah. What is that intervention? What is that you want to do?
Intervention is like some action. It is taken to improve the medication use.
Okay.
So,
Action
so
you want to improve the.
medication use,
Okay, what action you would like to take?
whether the correct medication is given to the right population, or if that medication is associated with some ADRs or something like that. Like that.
What is that you want to do there? Suppose, for example, medication is not appropriate. What is that you want to do?
Will report it, sir.
Okay, reporting saying that this drug is not working.
Yes,
Is
sir.
it enough?
We'll come up with a new drug which is right to that patient.
Yes. You recommend the new drug whose efficacy is better than the one which was prescribed, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, correct. So intervention means to say that you take action and report or recommend the best possible medications in the during the treatment so that therapeutic outcome becomes better. So intervention pharmacoepidemiology, it helps to improvise the appropriate medication use. As she has rightly pointed out, if medication prescribed is not showing the effect, you can always identify that and recommend the medication which is having effectiveness better than the prescribed one, and recommend to the doctor saying that this is the medication that is found to be effective more than the one which is prescribed. So could you please look into that? So if your justification is sound and clear, then he will likely to change the medication. Remember, recommending the medicine doesn't mean that you just report it. You have to go with the evidence in support of the effectiveness. Then the doctor, considering your recommendation, will change the medication for getting for better therapeutic outcome. So pharmacoepidemiology helps to improvise appropriate medication use through the changes in the delivery of healthcare services. Okay, this is one type of usage. The other type of usage is that now arranging for academic detailing by academic physicians through who are recruited by pharmaceutical companies. See, like you have seen, you might have heard the opportunity uh, such as medical licensing. Nowadays, it is catching up. Earlier, for medical licensing purpose, medical doctors used to be appointed. Now they are preferring PharmD students in order to convey the message professionally to doctors. The medical licensing officers are the people are the one who takes the information about the drug, which is unbiased, clear, and they can even clarify the certain doubts about the drug by the physicians. It is known as academic detailing, or they appoint academic physicians in order to throw the unbiased information about the new medications. Such information is also available in drug facts, prescribing facts org, which is an unbiased information, drugs facts and comparisons. These are the two websites where you get the information, unbiased information about all the drugs. Every year, the new drug is approved by FDA. The same drug is there in this website. So based on the right information they provided, and they improvise the quality of services, medical services. So that is why pharmacoepidemiology helps in these two directions under interventional pharmacoepidemiology. Okay, I hope this is clear. Can we move on to the next one? Economic assessment of medication related issues. Correct? Economic assessment of medication related issues. Earlier in the policy analysis, pharmacoepidemiology used in policy analysis, we have tried understanding that what is the economic consequences that may happen with the medication use, and how pharmacoepidemiology helps to assess that. But in this case, the medication related issues is the focus here. Now, it is going to assess the drug utilization, number one, how the drugs are getting utilized. When they are utilized, what is the related issues which may come across? Adverse consequences is the main consequences that comes out. And what is the treatment given for the adverse consequences shown by the medication? And how many days the patient was hospitalized? What is the treatment given? That becomes the expenditure, assessment of expenditure related to medication related issues. So pharmacoepidemiology helps in the assessment of economic assessment of such related issues. Or the other type of issues such as high dosage given to the patient, leading to exaggerated or worsened pharmacological effects, leading to many adverse effects, or drug interaction induced adverse consequences, or drug clinical induced consequences, interaction consequences. So the expenditure occurring towards that such medication related issues are taken into the consideration, and they are assessed here. In addition to that, they're going to pharmacoepidemiology always try to assess the lifelong benefits, risk, cost of each treatment based on the short-term study result. Like for example, now some of the life-saving drugs, which is taken for whole life of the patient. For example, antihypertensive drugs. Then sometimes, anti-diabetic drugs. cardiovascular drugs. These are to be taken for whole lifetime. So you need to really predict what would be the long-term benefits they can produce or the risk they can produce in each patient who is taking. So pharmacoepidemiology helps to assess the economic consequences of such medications with the help of short-term studies. Short-term studies, right? So this is about the economic assessment of the treatment which is given due to medications. I hope this is clear and it is clear from the policy concept what we have understood. Yes, somebody respond please.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. The next one is the academic medical center. This is academic medical center. See, these are home-based centers in European countries. These are called as home-based centers because the houses are located very far from the city, sometimes in remote places. But it doesn't mean that they are out of the connection from the government or any other authorities. So they will have all the facilities such as internet facilities and electronic facilities in such a way that they are connected to the hospital and they are connected to the patients. So these centers will have the internet facility and they collect the adverse outcome which are from the patients, who may be in patients sitting in hospitalized in hospital, who's hospitalized in remote places. So the purpose of these centers is to monitor the medication usage and collect the information about adverse effects or adverse outcome of medications. And they in turn report to centralized pharmacovigilance centers, as well as they report back to hospital in order to treat the adverse consequences. Either way, it will act. On one side, it conveys the message from the patient side about adverse drug reactions of medications to the pharmacovigilance centers of a country for the documentation purpose. And in addition, they also come out with the treatment approaches for the specific adverse outcome which was reported. So both the ways it acts. These are called as academic medical centers. They are home-based centers. So this is what the second point is all about. They address the specific prescribing issues. They find out where is the fault which has led to such kind of adverse consequences and what can be done in order to prevent or manage such adverse consequences. The third point is that suppose a, a hospital which is using which is going for e-prescribing. So e-prescribing or e-prescribing order system. So what happens is that automatically prompts will be installed in such a way that the moment the prescribing order is done, the prompts are installed in such a manner that the recommended medication based on the evidence also pop up. That means it will recommend based on the evidence base. For example, you have prescribed, say, let us say that your doctor has prescribed medicine number 1, 2, and 3, okay, for a patient having disease number 1. The moment you enter the order, prescription order, prompt will come up and say that these are the probable medicines based on the evidence available for treating the patient who is suffering from disease number 1. It will come out. So if the doctor wishes to choose that, he can choose it. Or if the doctor already thinks that whatever the prescribing is done, so then he can retain the same prescription. So such kind of technology based centers will be there, and it will be regulated through the home centers. Okay. So this is about the home academic medical center. The next approach where pharmacoepidemiology comes into use at the hospital setup is that now they will have a consortia, or the what do you say, the combination of the combination of a number of units. It is like a network. Consortia is a kind of network of different medical centers. So what they do is that they develop an agency. I mean, based on the agency, they develop a network in order to get the information. Like for example, if you see here, European Medicines Agency, European Medicine Agency. This agency has created a network known as European Network of Centers for collecting the information about pharmacoepidemiology and pharmacovigilance. So these centers will collect the information from the network of centers or the hospitals. Centers usually will be located in the hospitals, and that is how they get the total data, and that will be managed like a linked database, which we have already understood. Correct? So whenever the information is needed, all this information is combined, and the results are strengthened. The results are strengthened, and the strengthened evidence will act as a evidence-based medicine again for the treating physician. So that is how the pharmacoepidemiology helps at this different hospital center. Similarly, if you see federal agency for healthcare research and quality, you can see here decide network. It is developing evidence to inform decisions about the effectiveness. See, some agencies will be acting in such a manner that they get the information from various sources and they decide whether the drug is effective or not, and they communicate back to healthcare providers so that they can take a rational decision. So such kind of network is also there. One network is to collect the information. Another type of network is to convey the message about the decisions about the effectiveness. And you can see here CERT program. It is Centers for Education Research in Therapeutics. So its job is to educate the medical professionals about the therapeutics, or therapeutic drug choice, or any other guidelines which is recommended. And also it does the research in therapeutics to understand the effectiveness as well as the safety of the medicines that are prescribed to patients, whether the guidelines are getting followed, or if followed, why the problem is coming. All this information will be gathered, and it also do the research in addition to educate the treating doctor. So this is called as CERT program. And you have a Sentinel initiative of FDA where uh, it collects the information about the efficacy, safety, medication related issues between centers and countries also. See, we are very clear about the medication effect that depends on the race also, race and genetic makeup, correct? So the medication related issues or the efficacy safety not only varies among a single race or single gene of population, but it also varies between two races or between two genes structured populations who are present in different countries. So for example, now Americans are bulky. So the dose which is recommended in such population usually on the higher side than the population which is living in the Asian region, like us Indians, and then all Chinese and Japanese. All these Asians require a less dosage or lower side, and the dosage on the lower side when compared to Americans. But both will be uh, within the therapeutic dose range, but the dose keeps varying, and the consequences also. So this kind of agencies, it will gather the information from all the agencies which are shown above, and also from different agencies, and collect the information in totality, efficacy, about efficacy, safety, and medication-related issues, right, between different centers within one country or many centers in different countries. So this is the applications of pharmacoepidemiology at the hospital level, right? Any doubt in this direction? So you will have your class test tomorrow on this chapter. Manoj, Manoj is there.
Yes, sir.
Just find out whether you want to take the class test into one go, or two goes, like two tests or one test.
Okay, sir. I'll confirm it with them and I'll tell you.
By evening, if you can tell me, by tomorrow we can do it. Now onwards, you try to focus on one test, because your memory capacity should be increased actually. I know that certain chapters are big enough, but I suggest you people that try to capture one chapter, one per class test, so that your memory works better from now onwards, because you're going to be in the internship next year. Okay, that is number one. And number two is that, see, some of the things which you might have heard, like intervention and all those things, these words, you need to exactly know what you're trying to do, what you must do. Because this year we are going to take you to the hospital, and if you are asked to intervene for some of the regulated problems, you should be in a position to work on that. Next year you will be in internship, so by this time, you should be clear that what is that you want to intervene. Okay. So try to make yourself clear, especially through clerkship activities. That helps you a lot. Otherwise, it will be a problem when you take up in the next first few months. You have to understand what is that, what is this, and all those things. But if you are very clear about what is that intervention, how it should be done, what are the basics of the information which you have to assess it, and how to speak to the doctor, then you can immediately pick up in 1 week or 2 weeks time. so that your majority of the internship duration will focus on the learning from the intervention. Okay, so that part you please take care of it. Still you have a time. One more thing which I wanted to tell you, since I have already put a new drug club format, and you may get some kind of doubts whenever you're preparing the slides and going through the parameters, working on the parameters. You can always approach me, as I have already mentioned in the WhatsApp message on the group. Contact me and clarify the doubt. Please do not end up with wrong information, because this kind of project is given to you where you may have to refer more than one book or more than one website in order to get different informations actually. So that is why initially you'll take some time to get acclimatized in this direction. But where the people who are initially taking up these presentations, please contact me for any simple doubt, so that you don't have the problem. Otherwise, it is going to be a problem in some of the places. Right? It is like a project which is given for you all, as you have all been identified as advanced learners. Right? And after the presentation, you are going to give me the evaluation form will be with me. You're going to give me the printout of PPT slides in a MS Word format, where 6 slides or 4 slides in one paper, and the soft copy will be recorded, and it will be preserved for documentation purpose. And you need to give your slides also for the documentation. So everything will be documented as a evidence for advanced learners. I'll start from the first slide. You can just go through. Still, you have a time. Let us not waste the time. I'm putting a slide from the first one. Go through it slowly. Any doubt, you can try. Okay, it's time up. You can get disconnected. Thank you all. Manoj, please send me the absentees list.
Yes, sir, I'll send you now.